Hi, welcome back to the 21 questions that we would ask an estate planning attorney if we were hiring one. I'm Scott Stork with Polaris Law Group. This is my partner, Raymond Chandler. We're in St. Charles, Missouri. First things first, remember to hit the subscribe button to get notifications of all the new videos in this series. And so, Ray, we're going to talk today about what does the fee cover, the fee that the attorney charges cover, other than just the documents.
Yeah, so we talked the last video about how a attorney can charge fees, what type of fees are out there and things of that nature. But what we want to really dive in today is really understanding what that fee covers. So there's a lot of different types of document preparation, estate planning, things of that nature out there. And when you're talking to an attorney, when you're asking them what their fees are, you need to know exactly what that covers. So when we talk about an estate plan, are you talking to the attorney about simply the paper that they're going to give you? Or are you talking about questions, answers, funding? So we talk about funding your plan. Is that attorney going to include in those fees helping you make sure all of your assets are tied to your plan? Or is it simply going to be a piece of paper with instructions on it on you going out and funding your plan? Is there anything included in those fees to do with updating and maintaining your plan, making sure that all of your assets stay up to date, make sure your life stays up to date with your plan, make sure the plan stays up to date with the law, things of that nature? What is included in the fees regarding updating and maintenance and things like that? Does that fee cover that, or does it just include the original plan itself? What if you come in 5 years from now, 2 years from now, 10 years from now? What type of fee is going to be there to update that plan if there's not an ongoing situation, an ongoing maintenance program or something of that nature? What about client support? Is client support included in that fee? And what we mean by client support is you're going to get your estate plan, you're going to look at your estate plan, hopefully you're going to review your estate plan, and hopefully you're going to talk to your family about your estate plan. You really should. Most people don't, but you really should. And then after you've done that, you're going to have some questions. Something's going to come up. You may not know exactly how that legal language works or exactly remember what the attorney told you or something of that nature, or maybe your sons, daughters, beneficiaries, helpers, anything like that are going to have some questions. What type of support for that is included with your fee, if anything? And most of the time it's not, but if any, is that included with your fees? So again, when you're looking at fees, especially if you're comparing fees, you really got to compare apples to apples and understand, this attorney is going to charge me this much for this attorney is going to charge me this much for this one's just documents, just going to get the documents done and kick them out and we're good. This one's going to include funding, this one's going to include support. What does all that look like? So you really need to know exactly what's included in your fees. And so, Scott, when we talk about fees with a client and an overall investment for an estate plan, what are we talking about?
Yeah, so like Raymond said, it's really difficult sometimes to look at what two different attorneys are charging. Ours is actually going to be very straightforward in what we charge, and we kind of pride ourselves on making sure that clients know exactly what they're getting for what we do charge. So as I said in the last video, we charge as a flat cost for the investment of doing this. And really what that covers is pretty much everything. So when we give the kind of the first investment cost for it, what it covers is the design, the initial kind of meeting for getting to know what your goals are, where the potential red flags are, where the speed bumps are, things of that nature. The next part of that is going to be to design your plan, and as you'll see in a subsequent video, we do that by being very visual. So we want to design your plan with you and take the amount of time necessary to actually make the plan do what you want it to that achieves your goals. Then we come back in for another meeting and we actually sign your documents. And so that's going through and executing those documents, and that is the estate planning documents that you'll have. From there, for most clients, then we move into the funding stage. So how do we get all of your assets and your property tied to your plan? And we're going to explore that in later videos. From there, then we can, with many clients, move into what we call our maintenance and updating client care program. And so what we do with that is first, that's going to be a flat cost charge where we first verify that the financial institutions actually did what we asked them to during the funding phase. So to make sure that we've got your assets and your property tied to your estate plan. We then will move into a family meeting so that families oftentimes will understand what your plan was. Not necessarily all the ins and outs of it, but that there is a plan and who to go to for support. And then also continuous support and updating of your plan. So as things change, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, but the law, your life, etc., the things that you own, as those change, then we want to keep that up to date. And of course, support you all throughout the process. So make sure that, as we talked about, if you have questions, if there's concerns, etc., somebody is here that they can help you, and that you're not worried about somebody looking at the clock. We charge flat costs. Raymond and I both do not like hourly billing for ourselves or for clients. So it's an easier, better, more straightforward way to actually let the client know what it is that they're getting and understand what the cost is for that.
Yeah. So that's a summary of kind of what to look for in those fees and things of that nature. Of course, subscribe to the channel and hit your notifications so you make sure you know when that video comes out. And we'll talk about that at the next time. So again, I'm Raymond Chandler, and this is my partner Scott Stork. We are with Polaris Law Group out of St. Charles, Missouri, and we'd love to help you out with any of your estate planning needs.